this is how I'm thinking for the Niners offseason. Everyone's looking at it like quarterback is priority number one. It's the quarterback offseason. They got to replace Jimmy Garoppolo. And I've been trying to replace Jimmy Garoppolo for years as well. I do think the Niners should place Jimmy Garoppolo, but that is not the number one priority this offseason. It's on the list, but it's not the number one priority. It's shocking to me how many 49ers fans, who are the most discerning, smart, highest football IQ having fans in the country, can look at this team that gave up 83 quarterback hits last season, most in the league, got 2 quarterbacks hurt, not just one, and say, yeah, the solution is a new quarterback. Really? You really think that bringing in Mac Jones will fix the Niners' pass protection issues? Like, he won't get hurt behind Laken Tomlinson, Mike McGlinchey, Hronis Grasu, Colton McKivitz, Daniel Brunskill? Really? Mac Jones will fix everything. Justin Fields will fix everything because he was so great under pressure in the Big Ten. Really? Even Patrick Mahomes couldn't fix everything. I don't like the idea of get a superstar quarterback, pay him everything, and tell him it's his job to protect himself. Just get a dollar store offensive line. He's mobile. He should be able to make them better. That's ridiculous. If you spend that much money on your quarterback, you should be protecting your investment with your offensive line. How can you expect any quarterback to play up to his full capabilities if you don't protect him? You can't. So I'm going to go the other way. It seems to me that it's obvious, but offensive line is the weakest position group on the 49ers. Offensive line is what they must address this offseason before they even think about bringing in another quarterback. Because if you just swap out a quarterback, you're just getting another guy hurt. And you're hoping and praying for Mike McGlinchey to improve. Why would he? Laken Tomlinson to improve. Some center to come in and solidify things. No. The offensive line has to be the number one priority for the Niners. What is the most difficult position group to solidify in the NFL these days? Offensive line. You can find good defensive linemen in free agency and in the late first round, and they don't need chemistry. They're all pretty much Han Solos out there. They work together on the occasional stunt and loop, but it's not like offensive linemen who have to work together all the time and build chemistry. Also, defensive linemen, the ones that the colleges are producing these days, are more athletic than ever. They're terrific, and there's a bunch from every draft. The offensive linemen that colleges produce today are not ready. They're not very good. So it's even harder to find good offensive linemen, which means it's even more important to have good offensive linemen. Otherwise, you're gonna get a great quarterback like Russell Wilson smacked around, or Patrick Mahomes, or Deshaun Watson. It's amazing to me how many fans want the Seahawks experience, the Texans experience, what's going to be the Chiefs experience. Great quarterback, no protection. It doesn't work. Every quarterback needs protection. Everyone. And so that's the first thing the Niners need to build up. They need to re-sign Trent Williams. They need to replace Mike McGlinchey. They need a new center. They might need 4 new offensive linemen, or at least 2 new offensive linemen, and bring back Trent Williams. They need an overhaul there. Otherwise, they're asking for trouble. I still don't get it. Oh, we can't protect our quarterback, so let's get a new quarterback. Oh, okay, that sounds great. Now, are the 49ers quarterbacks responsible for some of the hits? Yes, of course they are. Absolutely. That's for every team in the league. But if you look at advanced stats, the pressure rate the 49ers had was through the roof. And if you watch the film, you can see that the Niners offensive line, while it's pretty good run blocking, it gets dominated in situations where you got to pass. Like when you're losing at the end of the game and you're trying to do a 2-minute drill and come back. That kind of stuff. The Niners were rarely in that position in 2019. They were always winning. So they could always have Mike McGlinchey, run blocking, stuff like that. Well, when you're down 10 in the fourth quarter and CJ Beathard's trying to bring you back and actually doing it, well, Mike McGlinchey's going to ruin that effort, and he did it every single time. So if you think, oh, it worked in 2019, yeah, because the defense was great and the running game was great. You can't just disregard pass protection. That's not the corner you cut when you're building a roster. You got to solidify pass protection. It's really freaking important. Last point on this topic, I can't help but notice that the team with the more talented quarterback this year lost the Super Bowl, while the team with the more talented offensive line won it. If Mahomes had Tristan Wirfs and those other guys in Tampa, he would have won the Super Bowl. It seems to me that 2 years in a row, the team with the best offensive line won the Super Bowl. When the Niners had to win the game at the end of the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, Ben Garland and Mike Person couldn't block anyone. It was at 3 of Jimmy Garoppolo's passes got knocked down. How many times did he get hit in the fourth quarter? 10? That's what happened. So, yeah, it worked until it didn't. The Niners have to really seriously address the offensive line. If they stay in denial about it, they're in big trouble. It's way more important than the defensive backfield because last year they had Jason Verrett up their sleeves. Hell of a player. There is no Jason Verrett on the Niners offensive line waiting to come back from an injury who's going to be great. That doesn't exist. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how they improve the offensive line. But that's my axiom. Stop focusing on the quarterback. Stop trying to get some quarterback who fixes all your problems because that doesn't exist. Russell Wilson can't do it in Seattle. Patrick Mahomes couldn't do it in the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson can't do it in Texas. So why is Justin Fields going to do that on the Niners? Don't ask him to do that. Fix the offensive line. Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, a guy that no Niner fan wanted the team to trade for. Every Niner fan in the offseason said he's 43. He can't move. He's not as good as he used to be. And he won the Super Bowl. So how do you come to terms with that in your mind? Before the Super Bowl, when all you guys were saying the Chiefs were going to win, why? Because they have Patrick Mahomes. End of story. Well, they lost. All right? It really has to do with the offensive line. I think that's what we learned this year. That it's maybe even more important than the quarterback position because it's harder to get a good offensive line than a good quarterback. It's harder to get a talented, cohesive offensive line than it is to get a talented quarterback. I mean, the Niners have Josh Rosen. He's a talented quarterback, top 10 pick. No one wanted him. Every year, there are these talented quarterbacks who are on the scrap heap. Sam Darnold's one is going to be one soon because he played behind a bad offensive line and a bad team. Just give a guy a good offensive line, some good playmakers, and a good coach, he should succeed. So why don't we build up the supporting staff like Tampa did instead of asking one quarterback to play hero ball? Go be a hero. Run around behind the line of scrimmage for 7 seconds, throw the ball downfield, throw a touchdown. No, I don't want hero ball. I want the best team. Best offensive line, the best position, the best playmakers, a situation where any competent quarterback could flourish. That's what I want. And I think that's a better way to build a team. Until Seattle proves that you can do it the other way.